There we go. That's how you push buttons in the right order. Yep, that looks good. Okay. Yes, it is. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 416 of 10 o'clock.
13.
Damn it, 413 of 10 o'clock. I added one in my brain. I was going to say 17. What was the thing with numbers recently? Let me get my thing up. What are we on? 413. Traveling through time and space in different directions rapidly. So, yes, episode 413 of 10 o'clock. I am MDRLOz. Back into the physical form for a while, for funsies. You can see my very sad and ill face. I've been ill all week. And for this normal thing, yeah, you see the background footage, Nix? That's like me in bed all week coughing. Just make Nix cough. That's been me all week. Yep. And so we have irregular other person who's looking quite happy and cheerful, if I might say. We have Xeno Gallion. Well, it's just any reason to look cheerful is always good. We have Xeno Gallion.
And weirdly enough, I'm so super tired and sleep deprived and everything. And yeah, I'm just happy for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it's the fact that we've actually got 10 o'clock up and running and we've got a new layout and things and
rounded camera windows.
Yeah, Loz was, and we got rid of those things that you really hated.
What did I really hate?
You didn't like the old style borders.
Oh yeah, we got rid of those.
Yeah. Loz was very adamant that those had to go.
Oh, every week before recording, I would just yell at Xeno. Like, why are they not done yet? Why are they not done yet? Why do I have to endure these? Why am I framed with random pastel colours? Do you know how much I hate pastel colours? What am I living in? The 90s? God.
I was like, but Loz, you're the one that actually does the recording. Well, that's not good enough. You should actually do it for me. I don't know how this technological...
what do I look like? Some sort of recordy person that records stuff?
God damn it, I'm a scientist, not a YouTuber.
Exactly. Do you think I'm proud of this or something?
What is it? The Mandela effect? The whole... Because he never said, God damn it, Jim, I'm a doctor, not a something. He just said, damn it, Jim, or I'm a doctor, not a thing. Do you remember the whole combining of the two sentences?
Yeah.
Yes, the Mandela effect. Okay, there you go.
Says you.
Random
in my universe, he said many things.
Unlike Doctor Who. Right,
yes,
so let's move on. Let's do the M's for this week.
I have a button for that.
You do have a button
for that. It's there.
It's now been condensed down into one button, just for you. One button.
Really?
Yeah.
So I just tapped this.
Before it was... Yeah.
Look, we now have flashing emblems. Look at that.
He's not trying to give people fits, I promise. He's having fun.
Oh, I can't click it fast enough to cause issues. There we go. That'll do. Anyway, so we've got two emblems there. I've got some form of dragon. You've got some sort of...
wins.
I like yours, though.
I do like mine.
Do you know what? I'm a sucker for that. What does it... When you look at that, what does it make you think of?
BioShock. The sort of like 1920s...
The term you're looking for is Art Deco.
Oh, right, okay.
And yeah, BioShock's a good one, but for me, my favourite game or media for Art Deco is always Grim Fandango.
Oh God, yeah.
It's just it's just so good. It's just, and I just the style, the buildings. It's just beautiful, So I kind of like yours. So it's got it doesn't have, it's just one letter, but that one letter is done really well. Call it the draw.
Sure.
Call it the draw this week. There we go. Because I love it. I love that. It's so simple yet.
Cool. But if you wish to win 75 Platinum, go into the description below where you'll find a link to these emblems that were on screen just a mere moment ago. And you will... they're back now. You will have a chance to win... oh, they're gone again. You'll have a chance to... Stop it. You'll have a chance to win 75 Platinum for your platform of choice. Just fill in the polls. You don't even have to fill in the questions. But, it's really interesting to get people's perspectives on what we're talking about during the episode. Links in the description below. Go to the Google form. Do it. Make sure you spell your in-game name correctly, because if you don't, and you're like, hey, Xeno, I don't know who this is. And I'll be like, I don't know who it is either. I got no way of contacting them. Oh, well, they're not going to win. And then there's no winners for that platform. That's why the Sega Mega Drive has never had any winners. No one can spell their names correctly. Anyway, moving on. So yeah, that's it for.
Based on how long the platform's been out, you'd thought there'd been loads of winners by now, but sadly it's just
none at all.
Don't worry, I hear it's making a comeback by extorting mass amounts of gold from people on the Switch.
Oh god, that is such a ridiculous thing.
Yes, it is.
It's like a £30 price hike.
Over double for some N64 games and some Mega Drive games. And you get an Animal Crossing DLC that you could just buy independently.
Yeah.
Right. And if you stop subscribing, you lose access to that DLC.
Ooh.
So stupid. Anyway, let's move on. What are we doing now? So we've done emblems.
We're gonna go to Dojo.
So I get
a button now.
I get a button and I push this and look at that.
You didn't install the font.
I didn't install the font. They get that next week.
Fine,
they get over what base? I must have missed the font. Where was the font? I don't know. Anyway, but let's have it again. Yeah, look at those horrible. Xeno has a lovely font he's picked, but this week we'll go with terrible fonts, and it'll make me sad every time I push a button.
You gotta press so many of those buttons. You're just gonna get sad.
I'm gonna get so sad from looking at horrible font. We'll get a better font for next week. No.
Okay, fine.
We're committed now.
Yeah. Right. So Dojo Dusting. So this week we have winners. So even though we didn't air an episode last week due to technical difficulties, which we'll get to in more more detail in a second, I did decide to pick winners for this week because it was just from episode 412. So the winners we have are Robo 11500 or 11500, Robo 11500 on PC. I'm getting a phone call at the most inappropriate time ever. John E. Walker Cop for PlayStation, TD Stranger 101 on Xbox, and Nick Knight on Switch.
You're a professional.
I am a professional. Well, the problem is, right, I discovered on my phone, if I actually put Do Not Disturb on my phone,
right,
there's a rule that says if the same person calls back within a 15-minute window, ring through, right? Except for it just lights up the screen and doesn't actually ring, right? So if I'm asleep, I'm not going to hear my phone. And the weird thing is, while I'm asleep, I'm not looking at my phone actively. So it's so dumb. But then,
what you mean? You don't use your phone as some sort of like eye mask so that the call?
Yeah, clearly. But so I've had to change the settings so anyone on my favorites list can call straight through. And it's the only way that stupid Android crap.
Very good.
Anyway, yeah.
Dojo Dusting, anything else?
Then there was the whole shenanigans with why we didn't do last week. So do you want to explain that real quick?
My hard drive exploded.
Real quick. Yeah, so Loz.
I still have it. Loz, I can I've got like this cool dock for it now. So you've got, and it can. I plug it in. There it is. Brand of who knows what. And the computer can recognize there is a drive there, but it says it's an unformatted drive. Yeah. I don't know if that means there's no way to recover the data, or should I? Meh. I mean, if I format this, then I'd have a cool little portable solid-state drive. I'd be like, ooh, okay.
It's possible it will work, but the problem is that if you try and your machine crashes while you're trying to read that portable drive, it could potentially do damage to Windows, and you'd have to reinstall Windows again and everything.
Why?
Because if it fucks up the drivers and everything, Windows does not like being blue screened.
No, but it wouldn't be the operating system. It'd just be a external hard drive.
No, but it's trying to read it, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's
and
the
if
same
all of a sudden,
it's like
if the hardware starts weirdly malfunctioning.
No, but it's basically a glorified USB stick at this point.
Yeah, I mean, a USB stick can still blue screen your machine.
When was the last time a USB stick blue screened your machine?
I've never had a USB stick in my machine.
Never. It just doesn't.
Never.
All those ones that you brought over to me with 10 o'clock footage on were invisible. They were.
No.
You moved the footage onto them through the power of your mind.
Yeah. I mean, what? You think my computer's got a fast enough USB port?
It just gets USB sticks. Just
yeah, exactly.
Ready.
I mean, that's don't you do that?
No. Brain tumors. Very, very bad.
Oh crap! Have I got a brain tumor now?
I don't know. You tell me. Right, anyway,
It's not a tumor.
Okay, moving on. Right, so that's it for Dojo Dusting. We now move on to the War Report. Oh, that font.
Hey, I said you want to install.
No, I'm committed now. We're too deep. We're in too deep. We got to keep going.
You're committed to pain.
This is the War Report, where we go through the war of enduring this terrible font. The font Xeno has picked out is much nicer, but I was also got to change it for the topics, which we're going to get to in a bit as well. But I assume those will probably run on the old font, so at least there's that.
Yeah, that's still impact.
Cool.
But yeah, so we'll get it done after this. Anyway, War Report. I've got nothing.
The only things that I've got for the War Report. So just to point out, obviously, so we didn't record last week, so we have all of our stuff from last week, our memes, our community shoutouts, the footage is from a while ago. And we just, why use it? We hadn't used it. So, yeah, and then I checked for the War Report if there's anything I missed, and I couldn't find anything new. So all I've got in my War Report is Verve stuff continues with the Verve Furis skin, a free weapon slot, and a Furis. And I went and looked at this skin, and I was like, okay, maybe it does something special. It really doesn't. I think you can at least apply it to the Dex Furis, but I'm just like... It's just a very generic Furis skin. It doesn't do anything special. Like, I would have expected like a bullet effect or a on hit of enemies weird graphical effect or something. I mean, this is, Twitch Prime sub stuff. It's like quite lazy. I mean, I know we've been analysing the Verve stuff as we go, but I think it started with the skin or the sign down or what it is. It's like, I expected some moving graphics or something. It's so static. But, hey, it's free stuff. If you've got Twitch Prime, do make sure you get your Warframe account connected up to Twitch, and then you get free stuff with Warframe as long as you log in, go to the little crown icon, click it, and then, yeah. Have you frozen?
Nope.
You look like you're frozen.
Nope.
Oh, well. Well, that's it for the War Report, I'm afraid. So, yeah, nothing much else to say. We are in the endless... What did we call it? The endless wait? The
Never War.
The Never War. The Never
War.
The Never War continues.
Right.
It's like it's a new form of warfare. There's the Cold War, there's the World Wars, you got Hot Wars, Cold Wars, Old Wars, Now we have the Never War. A war which refuses to start because it can't. So it just doesn't exist.
Cool, right. So before we get into the topics, I'm going to get Loz to do a quick pause, completely impromptu and completely so he's got time to hit the button. Now we're moving on to topics. So Loz, you can now hit the ugly button. Right, so moving on to topics for this week.
But now we're going to topics, and these aren't so bad. So there we go.
Right. So topic 1 is you didn't fill in the topic.
I didn't do any of the topics, so I'm just going to push back.
Okay.
And then I'm going to push this pause button for my... This is my use of the pause button this time.
Cool.
Magic!
So, topic 1 is Oberon refertilized and replanted. And then topic 2...
I have to be in like a topics window. What are you talking about? I'm in the right place.
What are you on about?
I'm in the right place.
Okay, so topic 2, Ghoul Saw should be a necromech weapon. As soon as my brain knows how to read, which apparently is very difficult. So going back to topic 1, Oberon refertilized and replanted. Refresh. Refresh. Oberon and frankly all support frames are being crushed by the dump truck that is Wisp. Worse, for the new players, this is something I'm currently experiencing as an account that's just over 2 weeks old. Oberon is harder to farm than Wisp.
Do it right.
Oberon is harder to farm than Wisp.
Good job.
You happy?
I'm very happy.
This is we're back energy. That's it.
Oh, yes.
We're back energy. Anyway, any enemy on hallowed ground should get slowed by an unmoddable 25% while on hallowed ground, plus 10 seconds after they step off. The dump range mods.
Bump.
The bump range mods. Sorry. The bump range
Someone's
mods,
thinking about dump truck.
sorry, I was just talking about I was talking about dump trucks a second. The bump range mods from current bump range. Oh god, right. Bump range mods from current 75% to a full 100% when calculating range increases. Okay. So just give me an extra 25%. Okay. Renewal should have an armor buff rolled into the base behavior.
It does say the armor buff, not an armor buff. Is that
renewal should have? Oh yeah.
Is that like
renewal
an augment?
No, so it's a synergy. If you have hallowed ground and then you cast
renewal,
right. While people stood on hallowed ground, they get an armor buff.
So
renewal should have the armor buff rolled into the base behavior and have allies targeted by smite. And have allies targeted by smite, even if Oberon doesn't have smite infusion, and get a base 20% up to 50% speed buff. So those feel like 3 separate bullet points.
Yeah, let me just grab this Warframe wiki and be like, wait, how many things they're wanting this to do?
Okay. Have the cast renewal plus hallowed ground. Having to cast renewal plus hallowed ground is competing against Wisp laying down a single heal emote off of her first ability in terms of initial cost. Additionally, while Oberon has renewal active, he cannot gain energy from Xeneric plus Energy Siphon plus EV Trinity, whereas Wisp can. Added behavior to smite and hallowed ground to give an optional. Oh, added behaviors to smite and hallowed ground to give an optional feel, but nice to have bonus. Additionally, while Oberon has renewal active, he cannot gain energy from various, whereas Wisp can. Added behaviors to smite and hallowed ground give. Sorry, it's swapping between past tense and present tense. That's what's breaking my brain here.
Okay, well we're on to which one are you on to?
So it's add behaviors to smite and hallowed ground to give an optional feel, but nice to have bonuses. Right, that's what it's. Yeah, so that's what it is. That's confusing my brain. It's because it's the swap between tenses.
Added behaviors to smite and hallowed ground to give an optional feeling, but nice to have bonuses. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. For Reckoning, increase the radius to blind enemies. Move the health drop orb chance from on kill to if killed within 10 seconds modable duration. This allows more chances for interactions with the mecha mods that allow consumption of health orbs even if Oberon's health is full. Remove armor strip percentage. Enemies stand on hallowed ground, get their armor completely stripped.
Read it. Read it.
Tobiah note, super OP.
Thank you, Tobiah. Yeah, I'm totally with Tobiah on that. I'm like, okay, enemies standing on get their armor completely stripped. Like if they said, I would if I was going to put that in, I would at least temper it and say enemies standing on hallowed ground will have their armor stripped, which starts small, will escalate over the course of, I don't know, 10 seconds. At least there'd be some point to it. But just like enemies standing on hallowed ground have no armor. It's like, what, wait, what, why?
Yeah.
It's like, you've got to think what you want and then what's fair.
Yeah. On the last point, you have to cast hallowed ground, then Reckoning is enough of an energy and setup ask as is. Currently, you have to hope enemies stay on for 2 to 3 casts depending on armor strength, which gets really expensive, and Reckoning covers a wide amount of wider amount of ground than hallowed ground does. So you aren't stripping everyone's armor, even with the new mechanic. I'm pretty sure my hallowed ground is a wider range. I could be wrong.
Let's have a quick look what we've got here. So hallowed ground base is 180 degree angle, 15 meter radius. Reckoning is 50 meter cast radius. They're the same.
So they're based the same.
They're based the same.
Okay.
I would say apparently hallowed ground has an angle attached to it, so it's in front of you, yeah?
Yes, but you can get it to be 360.
Oh, can you?
Yes, I can't remember which. I think it might be range. If you increase the range, it increases the angle.
Info.
It's either range or power strength.
Oh, the range and angle affected by ability range.
Yeah.
Therefore, 234% ability range is needed to bring up the angle to 360%, making it a full circle. This will also increase the radius to 30.075 meters, which I assume Reckoning would also get the same increase in range, so they would be on par and do full size at that point.
Yeah, so, okay. There's a few things here that I agree with and a few that I don't. The whole umbrage, like, I don't know if the original post is taking umbrage with the fact that while having renewal active, Oberon can't get energy through other means, whereas Wisp can.
Yeah.
But the big thing with Wisp is that her emotes are time-based, whereas Oberon's heal is toggle-based. Plus, if you have the right build for Oberon, it's easy enough to keep that energy level high with something like Hunter Adrenaline or Rage. You take damage. The number of people that would take, oh god, what's the dragon key that reduces your shields? They would take that just to decrease the shield. Huh?
Decaying?
Yeah, it might be decaying. It might be decaying. But yeah, so they decrease their shields as much as possible. So I think the base is 300. They drop it down to like 75 shields just so that they can get health damage faster, and then that allows them to keep their energy supply up
Right, got you.
more easily. Yeah.
I would say that, and I wish Warframe did this. I suppose more in open worlds it's a bit of an issue. I don't know what the maximum you can make a mote's lifespan be. The base thing says 30 seconds here, but obviously I assume you can go into minutes. Oh, sorry. I wish the game, if we had a lot more missions that were constantly moving missions, the Oberon would then pay off because you could cast as you move when people need it. Whereas the motes are like, oh, everyone's motes are run out. I'll put down my mote thing and everyone come back to it. When we're doing what you know, if you're doing a survival, it's not a big issue because you're just always in near enough the same room. But if we had more missions that were more, you start here and you're never going backwards, you're only going forwards, you would, then the Wisp wouldn't be as good. But it's just the way the game's set up, sadly.
I think one thing that would be a nice quality of life improvement for Oberon is when you cast Hallowed Ground and then Renewal to get the armor buff, Iron Renewal. It would be nice that if you turn off your renewal, your heal, you have a decaying rate of not a decaying rate. It's you have an overlap, so the heal doesn't instantly disappear, right? The armor buff doesn't instantly disappear. It would be nice if you cast it again. Not only will it give you back the renewal, which it will because it has infinite range, but it'll also turn on the iron renewal again because you still have it active. It's still in that window of Huh?
The buff is still on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you understand what I'm trying to say?
I think so.
Yeah. So basically, instead of just like that still running out until you run on top of a hallowed ground, it just gets refreshed as well. So I the big thing with Wisp is that she's super easy to get.
Yeah. Is she? Where's she come from?
Oh, the Ropodopa list.
Ah.
Yeah. And the thing is, you can have people just carry you to the Ropodopa list.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so she drops on the Ropodopa list.
Yep.
Whereas Octavia's dojo, I think.
I will check.
Yeah. Who else have we got?
Oberon.
Equinox is Tilragor, and everyone hates farming Equinox. Trinity is who's Trinity on? That's dojo as well? No.
Octavia's main blueprint is acquired completion of Octavia's Anthem. The chassis blueprint is Lua Music Puzzle. The Neuroptics is from Rotation C of Deimos Survival. System blueprint can be found in a rotation cast of Lua Crossfire Exterminates.
Okay, so nuts to that. Who else have we got? Trinity, I think, is on Mars? Or is she Phobos? No, not Phobos.
For the days when this was easy and I could do it on
Pluto.
my hand.
Oh, God, yeah. I think Trinity's on Pluto. Because that's... Huh?
From Ambulance, yeah.
Yeah, Pluto. Who else is there? Trinity... Oberon is from Exalted Enemies.
Exalted?
Yeah, is it? Sorry, the Xmas. Sorry, Xmas Enemies. Yeah? And then Harrow's a nightmare to get. No?
No. Oberon's main blueprint can be purchased in the market. Oberon's component blueprints are obtained from Earth Proxima Systems, Saturn Proxima Chassis, Vale Proxima Grenier, Controlled Territory, points of interest in Empyrean nodes.
They put him on Railjack.
Put him in Railjack.
Holy fuck! No wonder that
They sent your boy to the moon.
They sent my boy. Wow, they really made Wisp the easiest one to get. None too surprising.
I'm not gonna step on that landmine. Moving on.
What were you gonna say?
You can see my screen, yeah?
Yeah.
What is this? Does it need to be that?
Why?
I don't know.
No, I don't think you could. I don't think you can do that though.
What? I know it's an infested pile of flesh. Who cares? Anyway, moving on.
Right. Cool. To be honest, do I think that this is needed? Not particularly. I think, though I do agree with some of it, the whole trying to get people to stand on top of the hallowed ground while trying to cast renewal, it was always a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Right? I'd always go, right, there's the reckoning. If you want to stand on the reckoning to get the... Sorry, there's the hallowed ground. If you want to stand on the hallowed ground to get the iron renewal buff, go for it. Otherwise, I don't give two flying fucks. Maybe if... one thing I've always wanted is a... Oh gosh, what's it called? An augment mod for hallowed ground, which makes it mobile with Oberon, maybe at a decreased range. So, make it a 10th of the range or a 20th of the range. No, that's too small. A 5th of the range. That's what I meant to say. Just decrease the range of it and then just make it mobile so it just travels with him. What?
This Oberon is mobile.
Well, that's pretty much the point because I
see what you're getting at.
If I could just chase people, go there you go, you know how this... And the upshot is, you're never falling over ever again unless it's, what's called one of those many things that apparently count towards him getting knocked over.
Yeah. Well, so what I was going to do is ask you, I remember back in the day when Oberon came out, and so do you, obviously, because it's your favourite frame. Back then, Oberon was the first sorry, the second support style frame they added to the game, I
Oh,
think,
he was so bad.
was how we felt anyway. Or the second healer frame, I don't know how you wanted to distinguish
Yeah.
it. But obviously, it was directly compared to Trinity. And obviously, it's Wednesday, better than Trinity has been in effect for multiple years at this point. Trinity's still great, of course, and has some really cool niches. Oh, God, I saw a video from Mr. Warframe guy again the other day.
Yeah.
How does he do that? I just don't get. Just how did he make a Trinity make the world explode? I don't know. Anyway, back then it was just like, well, from a supporter point of view, Trinity was just the best because it's like have a map-wide invincibility ultimate super heal that you can spam. It was just ridiculous. Anyway, so now we've got others that come up with different things like Wisp and Octavian, all the ones you listed. Instead of comparing to this person's ideal, do you feel that that Oberon is old hat, slow, needs a change, needs an update? What I mean, you've given one example there. You'd like it to be mobile, but would that really make a difference? Would that really fix the frame? You know what?
I don't think he's particularly broken. Like, you know, as said here, like, oh, he can't gain energy while the toggle ability is on.
Yeah, that was a good one I thought picked up because it's like,
I mean, but I don't think he needs it because if he takes damage, he could so energy orbs and oh god, what's the name of the rage and 100. They are mods that they're methods of still being able to get energy back while the ability is active. Right. It doesn't need to be Xeneric or anything like that. And realistically, the only time you ever need to get your energy back is when you're getting hammered.
Right.
Yeah? So I'm just like, I get where this person is coming from, but I feel you put those mods on and then instantly Oberon's like, yeah, I'm dummy thick. There's so many people that like, I mean, one of the traditions when it came to, I'm going to, build for this new Warframe, it was, slap on Streamlined, right? You got to get that energy efficiency up for your abilities, right? No, don't do that for Oberon. Just slap on as much power strength as you can to get that healing up. Just make it as big as you possibly can. And then as you're taking damage, you can out-heal the damage.
So you take the damage, which gives you energy, and your energy fuels your heal, which heals you so you don't fall down. And you're doing super healing because you're doing super mad power strength. But at the same time you're taking mad damage, which provides energy, so it just sort of has a nice feedback loop, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's got an excellent feedback loop.
Right. But so obviously this person suggests a lot of changes. I'm just going to suggest one change. Could we remove the limitation on getting energy back for Oberon? Would that be too big of just that one change? Make it more fluid, let's say. So you don't have those restrictions on energy gain. You have more sources of energy gain. Would Oberon become invincible? Well,
I mean, he's pretty damn invincible.
I've seen you fall over.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, don't get me wrong. The biggest time I fall over is when I'm not getting nearly enough energy, or I get on my Arcwing, land again, and forgot to turn the sodding ability back on.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and it's just like, God fucking damn it, fucking shit.
But if you could receive energy from Trinity's Vampire, energy pads, I can't remember what the other sources they listed.
But nothing. The great thing about his renewal is you could just go, oh, well, I'll just turn this off. I'll drop a few pizzas. I'll turn it back on. What's the problem?
Well, you see, I recall, I think they added that change for active abilities so that they couldn't just be sat there and done endlessly, which makes sense for anything that does damage, right? I think you used to have like Ember's World on Fire. You don't want, in the old days, you don't want Ember just sitting there with World on Fire on, just dropping pads, and forever never need to turn the ability off. It would just be stupid. It just makes the game a complete
jerk.
Yeah. Whereas, is it fair? Because that makes sense for damage abilities, but a healing ability should that be changed? Rather than all these other changes, would that alone be a strong change? Because it does seem restrictive that Oberon's trying to do this thing, so can't have energy, whereas the Wisp is just like, pick up my totems, there we go, you get healing. I can then but there's no restrictions on Wisp.
Yeah, but the wisp thing is you can't just, force people to pick up the totem, and the
Yeah.
totem's there for a duration.
Yeah.
So you have to, like, the recipient has to go pick up new totems, even if you are a wisp yourself. You have to go pick up new totems.
I will assume competent players that I'm playing with, which is not an unfair statement to do. I'll remove that as being a negative, because I'll assume they're competent people and they're looking to have their buff up. Is it fair that the wisp can just do that and everyone picks up? Drops the multi-totem thing. It's like, there we go, our job's done.
If you were to do that for Oberon, you could drop the Rage mod or potentially the Rage and Hunter Adrenaline mod if you take both for whatever reason.
Yep.
And then...
and Xeneric, Energy Siphon, EV Trinity, and pizzas. Not pizza.
What, they could all work, yeah?
While healing.
If that's the case, if they could all work while healing, then I don't know if you could. I mean, would adaptation be beneficial?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because you totally want to use adaptation then. You'd swap in adaptation, and you're taking no damage, but you could get energy at any point in time.
Yeah, you're not fixed on having to butcher your... Because I do feel the build you've got there, almost, instead of making him a paladin, almost makes him
he's a fucking druid. He's a druid.
No, he's a flagellant.
Flagellant?
I think that's...
You're a little far away from your microphone, by the way.
Oh, sorry, I was leaning back. Yeah, let me just see. Let's get Microsoft Home House for a sec.
Flagellant.
Flagellant.
Flagellants
are practitioners of a form of mortification of the flesh by whipping their skin with various instruments of penance. I know that you could say that Harrow's that, but Harrow just stupid. No, sit in the corner, Harrow. Nobody's talking to you. It's just stupid. But that's what you're kind of doing, is a person who subjects themselves or others to flogging, either as religious discipline or okay. Yeah, so because you're directly trying to heal by taking damage. He's like a blood paladin at that point. It just doesn't feel the... I feel it's just a bit too far.
You're not wrong. But the thing is that there are so many abilities that can abuse the fact that you take damage. I mean, oh god, what's his name? Nezha with is it Warding Halo and Adaptation? You're just immortal. You just take no damage. You're a god. You're a god among gods. And yeah, like there are multiple ways of like sort of getting around all this stuff. So I'm not opposed to having the heal, but I do like some of the other stuff. I think ripping off the so let's move on to the whole
Yeah, I was going to suggest that, so we
Reckoning.
discussed it as a healer. Let's talk about it for its offensive abilities.
I never use him for his defensive abilities. I never do.
But that's what this person's then suggesting. So it's like,
yeah.
When was the last time you saw someone? I don't know. Maybe there are special builds, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I do not play Wisp. But I mean, I don't often see people using Wisp's ultimate.
Never see people using.
I never see. Yeah, it sounds really cool. It's like, and then you open up a portal and shoot sunbeams at people, and I was like, oh my god! And I never see people use it ever. Never see.
The Annihilator from Destiny 2.
You open up a portal to Destiny 2.
No, it's like that stupid.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. Yeah.
Oh wait, no, that went the other way around. It actually shot the. Maybe that ship would have been better if it just actually sucked up the sun power and fired it at the planets.
That would have made more sense. Yeah.
I'm going to walk on the outside.
The Almighty.
The Almighty, yeah. The Annihilator's too cool a name. Right, so for the Reckoning thing, where move health drop orb chance from on kill to if killed within 10 seconds. So my understanding of this is that if the enemy dies within 10 seconds of a Reckoning...
Yeah.
It drops a health orb.
Yeah. So it's casting Reckoning will tag all mobs with a debuff that lasts at base. Is that, I don't know if that's moddable, but 10 seconds for if killed within 10 seconds will guarantee a drop of a health orb.
Yeah, so this person is suggesting at base 10 seconds, right?
Yeah,
I think that's a bit high. I mean the thing is like, oh, Reckoning, Tonkor. Okay, there we go, all the health orbs.
Yeah.
It's like the big thing for me is the fact that you strip the armor, and do you know how OP Oberon's armor strip is? Unless they've changed it and I've not realized. You strip off a flat 75% of their maximum armor. Right?
On what?
On Reckoning.
On what? Just base Reckoning?
Yeah, it's non-moddable. Right? Unless they've changed it.
I'll have a look.
I mean, I rarely ever use Reckoning, so I'm there to heal. Oh, on Hallowed Ground. You have to do it on Hallowed Ground.
Oh,
Was it on Hallowed
Ability
Ground?
synergy. Enemies that survive Reckoning while standing on Hallowed Ground will have their armor permanently reduced by 30%. Armor reduction is affected by ability strength. Armor reduction is applied to the enemy's base armor when accounting multiple casts.
I think they changed that because before... are you sure? 30%?
Plus ability strength.
Oh, right. Okay. Before, I think it was just a flat 75%. But yeah, I mean, in 2 shots, I can just strip off all their armor. And it's just like... I mean, that's really fucking OP. Because you can just slap Hallowed Ground right underneath their feet and then just go, oh, Reckoning. And then Reckoning again.
Yeah. So what change? That already seems like it. Well, 2 casts and you've definitely 100% stripped off their armor. Even if you only had a bit of ability strength, you got it from 30% up to 50. Like you say, it's base. So 2 casts. You don't need a mad amount of ability strength to achieve that. And then what is it they want to change it to? The armor stripping?
They want to take it off of the Hallowed Ground.
Yeah.
And they want to make it 100%.
So they just want to put it on just enemies standing on the Hallowed Ground have no armor.
So no. Just the enemies. So
Yeah.
remove the armor strip percentage.
Yeah.
Enemies standing on. Oh right. Yeah. So it just remove. So it just removes it all.
So
one go.
It's exactly. So you kind of already have that. You just have to cast Reckoning twice.
Yeah.
And they just want to remove that to
But they've what was it? I swear they said somewhere that having to cast Hallowed Ground then Reckoning is enough of an energy setup ask as is. Currently, you have to hope enemies stay on for 2 to 3 casts depending on armor strength, which gets really expensive. Like,
so
I kind of get.
I would say I like the armor stripping as it is, right? Yeah. However, yes, that is a few casts, and it would I think some additional synergies would be nice. So, for instance, they've said this for Reckoning: increase the radius to blind enemies, move the drop health chance from killed to killed in 10 seconds. This allows more chances for interaction with. Why not add that as a synergy to if Reckoninged while on Hallowed Ground? So at least there's a bit of play in there.
So the big thing is, right? When you when you cast Reckoning on an enemy, they get slammed into the ground.
Yeah.
And then they have to get back up. Right? So the only real ask is the energy at this point. So as long as you have the energy, you're fine. I think realistically the best way to solve Oberon's problem is to give him change his passive for the companion that self-revives once, right? To he just has some baseline energy on damage taken. Energy regained on damage taken.
Why?
I'm talking like a really small amount. Just to incentive.
Can't we instead have some form of energy vampire style thing on Smite?
Sure. So what? He when he hits a target, then he gets energy back with smite.
Yeah, if the target has been hit by smite, or if anyone hits, a bit like energy vampire, yeah, but maybe not as strong. Maybe
But just for Oberon.
But just maybe just for Oberon. So it wouldn't, it'd be like, seeing as energy vampire is like the second or third ability for Trinity, just make it that, yeah, if Oberon smites an enemy and then attacks them, they get energy back.
What about the additional orbs that fly around? Well, no, I mean, would you expect them to give back energy as well, or is it just the initial hit?
I don't know how it's done, but I'm just thinking that is that the issue. This person saying that, like, so, Oberon already, that armor strip is really cool as it is already on Oberon. I can maybe see what they're saying about improving the ability to get more health orb, but they're saying that energy is the issue. So maybe the issue is not do all these ridiculous things, because what I think they're going to do is by giving Reckoning this 10%. When you hit an enemy with it, kill them in 10 seconds, they get an orb. And then on the side thing, you've got enemies standing on higher ground, have their armor completely stripped. That there's no synergy there. You'll almost be running around, spamming Reckoning so that all your allies will be dropping health orbs. And then anytime you see an enemy that you want to kill, you just drop a hallowed ground. So you'll be not using them together anymore. You'll be using them just spamming throughout the map. Anytime you kill anything, you'll just slam down hallowed ground, and then you'll just keep spamming Reckoning on everything to keep the... 10 seconds moddable duration. Yeah, I don't know. That'll get up to like 30 seconds. You'll just be doing that on every enemy, just so there's billions of health orbs everywhere. And then you'll just be running around spamming hallowed ground next to all your allies. It disconnects the ability. So I'm thinking they're saying, it's so tricky having both these things to cast. Maybe just let's get Oberon closer to Trinity. Let's take another card off Trinity and give it to Oberon and give it stealth, energy, vampire with smite sort of thing. That's what I was thinking. I don't know how you do it with orbs or shooting or whatever, but just give smite something to do, because smite's barely been listed in here.
Yeah, I'll give you that, but I feel that realistically Oberon can only be played one of two ways.
That's the thing. All the suggestions I've been doing is trying to remove those ways you've been saying about how you play Oberon, especially you play Oberon, which is about getting stabbed in the face.
Yeah,
and you do that to get energy. So I'm thinking, like, well, is there any other ways we can get you energy? And those are my two suggestions. Main things.
I think if you just basically go, take away the restriction on energy supply while having what's the name of that ability?
Classic renewal.
Renewal up. Yeah. Right. If you take away that limitation, then instantly there's no two ways of playing Oberon. There's only one way of playing Oberon, because you're no longer limited to how you get energy, because you can get energy via any other means.
Right. No, but you could combine them and literally have loads of energy. You could still play it that way. You just get more energy.
Yeah, but do you see my point though?
Well, no, no, because all I'm saying, you wouldn't lose the ability to do that. You'll just gain. You can do that as
no. So right now, right, I see it that with Oberon, you either build for a renewal set, right? You build for renewal, which is you take damage and you're just out healing it, right? Or you build for reckoning, which is you deal the most amount of damage you possibly can. You like increase your ability range. You basically go for everything that isn't.
You turn into a damage frame.
You turn into a damage frame, and if you have renewal up, it puts you at risk of running out of energy.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So the second you give this ability to get energy in any other method, right, then you can have renewal up 24/7, no matter how efficient it is, and still be effective with your other abilities.
Well, we could make renewal not as efficient as well. Be a balancing act. You have more options available to you, but it wouldn't be the same level of efficiency as you have now, sort of thing.
I'm going to be honest. I like the lockout idea. As is. I like.
Oh, you like it? Okay.
I like the fact that you have to get energy via different means. I like the vampire smite energy shenanigans. That was really good. I want my mobile hallowed ground.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want the 100%. Oh, let's just take off the
Armor. Oh, you touched my plant. Now you have no armor.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's poison.
Yeah.
Right.
I kind of also partly want a rooting effect for hallowed ground, but I think that's just like that doesn't mesh well with the rest of Oberon.
Well, better a rooting one than a routing one.
Oh my god.
Right, let's move on to the replies. Thinking on it, I haven't played Oberon in a while, since his abilities are not in an ideal state. While Wisp has the most efficient heal, and people keep saying it's fine that she's OP, then just make everything OP, without further intent on arguing this particular situation. As you suggested, health orbs should drop not only due to kills by Reckoning itself, which is already hard, and hard the higher the level goes on. Enemies affected by it should definitely drop orbs when dying upon a certain window. This would also help to have a way of restoring energy. This would also help to have a way to restore energy with equilibrium if used when there are multiple targets. However, the chance for orbs drop should be reduced to 35 to 40%, because getting orbs would be too easy then.
See, this is ditch equilibrium, put on Hunter Adrenaline, and then just leave renewal on. There you go.
Fair. Next one.
Yeah, that's the whole point. Yeah, I think people focus too much on the fact that because Reckoning in his original state could drop health orbs, it should continue to drop. That's the big important thing. Nah, sod that. That thing's useless.
You're useless.
I am.
Next one.
Yes, and.
I'd want to decouple Armor Strip from Hallowed Ground, both because I frankly hate the it's synergy mislabeling of a forced interaction that is honestly damned expensive, and to give Reckoning something useful since I don't want Reckoning to be a nuke. I love the idea of it being a mass rad proc, blind for surrounding enemies, and an armor strip. However, it's expensive as hell. Wait, I love the idea of it being a mass rad proc, blind for surrounding enemies, and an armor strip. So that's not a nuke, so it's just a mad debuff ability, which makes all the enemies attack each other, all the enemies blind, and have no armor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tricky here. Do you buff the base ability so it does more by itself, or do you buff the synergy? Because I'd like it. I'd call it synergy, not a forced interaction.
Yeah, but like they're talking about the armor strip, and like you don't get the armor strip if you don't have hallowed ground.
Yes,
I mean
they're calling that they're calling that a forced interaction, as in that you're forced to do this. Whereas it's like no, it's synergistic.
I mean, one thing you could do is cheapen the cast of Reckoning while stood on hallowed ground.
Yeah.
You know, I totally get where this person's coming from, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know. I just don't build Oberon. I mean, maybe I would build Oberon for this, but I just think he is tanky as fuck if you build him the way I have. But I mean, yeah, I do also agree that I think Wisp. This is from the previous comment. Wisp is like, arguably a hell of a lot easier with healing and stuff. You put down the moat, and then there you go. You just leave it. I don't know if you're misunderstanding what I'm trying to say, or if you're wondering where the fuck I'm going with this.
No, sorry, I was just looking through Oberon's augments, and he could really use some more augments.
Yeah.
He's got the generic on smite that gives radiation to allies, as in because that's his thing.
Meh.
You've got Hallowed Ground, which gives recast to deal all remaining damage and radiation status to enemies, and also a passive 100% Hallowed Ground duration. Phoenix Renewal, if they die while being healed, they get them back at 50% health. Effect triggers only once for each ally every 90 seconds.
Sorry, say that one again?
Renewal Augment. Taking fatal damage while under the effects of Renewal will instead heal you to 50% health. The effect triggers only once for each ally every 90 seconds.
But does that strip away renewal? I think that the idea is that it's supposed to consume renewal.
If a player takes fatal damage while under the effects of renewal, instead of becoming incapacitated, the player is healed for a percentage of their health, 50%, and granted 5 seconds of invulnerability.
It doesn't say anything about losing renewal.
No, it doesn't. No, I don't think you do. I think you are still. It basically stops you falling over and then heals you. So you still have renewal, but you won't trigger that ability again for another 90 seconds. And then the final one, Hallowed Reckoning, an augment mod for Oberon that makes enemies damaged by Reckoning create patches of energy at their feet. These patches deal damage over time to enemies standing in them and provide armor to allies, similar to Hallowed Ground.
Yeah, that last one sucks.
Yeah.
Mobile Hallowed Ground. Okay, I think we're done with.
Yeah, you see, that's the thing. Maybe something where if you just tap it, you cast it normally. If you hold it, you cast the small version that follows you. Maybe. Okay. Last one. Aside from renewal cost changing, it could also use a small buff to the actual health regen it provides, like having it regen 45 health per second instead of 40 health per second. Looking at the wiki, by the way, summoned units actually cost 1 ES at the current moment. Still cost a deadly amount of energy if shadows are around.
Oh god, yeah, shadows will just nuke it.
What?
I hate shadows. So okay, first off, I'm not quite sure how frequent a tick is in Warframe. I can't remember if it's once a second or once every 2 seconds.
Right.
I know I can do like 108 health per tick, right? So I don't know if that's 108 health per second but it's more than 45, I can tell you that much. The other thing is, so renewal will heal every friendly target, right? This includes animal companions, mechanical companions, Eidolon lures.
Oh yeah, Eidolon lures. Oh my god.
And sodding shadows from a Nyros. No, not a Nyros, Necros, right? So if you are doing Eidolon farms, and your job as the Oberon is to keep the sodding Eidolon lures up, but a fucking Necros casts a sodding, shadows, your energy is just gone. I really wish that as Oberon, like, it wouldn't heal the bloody shadows.
Right.
But anyway.
Fair.
That's besides the point.
Or maybe an augment that allow. Or no, I mean it's ridiculous to lose an augment slot just to let you not heal. I don't know how you do that. Oh well, maybe. But that's it. That's it for the topic. So unless you wanna summarize anything more,
no. I get where this person's coming from, but I don't like the fact that they've moved him on to Railjack. Like, to me, that's the biggest grievance.
Okay, there we go. We'll leave it on that.
Yeah. Next topic. Topic 2. Ghoul Saw should also be a necromech weapon. Was having fun farming for Knights of Navarus, cutting my way through wave after wave of infested with my Bone Widow, when I realized how much more fun it would be if a giant robot had a giant chainsaw.
If my giant robot had a giant chainsaw.
Your giant robot had a giant chainsaw?
No, you said if a giant robot had a giant chainsaw, but it's like it would be more fun if the player's Bone Widow had a giant chainsaw.
But they said if my giant robot had a giant chainsaw.
Yeah, you didn't say the my.
Didn't I? Okay, fine.
No, you said if a giant robot had a giant chainsaw.
Well, It does say a giant chainsaw, so if a giant robot had a giant chainsaw. Anyway,
Yeah,
right.
but that's like the player saying, oh,
I
I'm sitting my
know.
Bone Widow, and it's great that
I'm just
mech
trying to
over
be
there.
I'm just trying to be entertaining. After all, what could possibly a more appropriate weapon for cutting down space zombies on a Halloween themed event? What Halloween themed event? Where was my Halloween themed event? There was no Halloween themed event. There was just go do some Deimos.
Yeah, there was.
There was a Halloween themed event?
No, how about a mother token themed alert or something that you could do once every hour or something to get a load of tokens?
Actually,
no, it was just go do the same stuff on looking outside.
Do you remember the old Earth events where you were fighting? And it was like super fun. Yeah. Like, could we have that as an Entrati event?
On Deimos.
Oh, get our Entrati tokens from doing that.
Yeah, just what Deimos in the dark is what you mean.
No. I was talking. Well, I mean, I was talking about the old one, the one that already exists for Earth.
Oh, so you'd go do the Earth event? That'd be cool. Yeah, I'd also love to see do Deimos in pitch black. Would also be cool.
Yeah.
With no radar.
All that orange.
No radar. No detection, and so just enemies just come out of the dark.
Instead, you just have us in the top corners, like we are now.
Oh look! I got a Bone Widow. There's my friendly Bone Widow. It just turns up and I'm like, I'm fishing. It's like, I'm gonna protect you. I'm like, okay, fine, mate, whatever.
Still trying to fish.
Still trying to fish. Gotta get them tokens. Oh yeah, it's when I was like, I finally realise now. Yeah, doing mother tokens, just spamming mother tokens is just so much better. I'm like, no, I'll combine the tokens and do all. No, just spam mother tokens.
Yeah.
So much more efficient. I'm just like.
Anyway, let's finish the last point, which is I am now haunted by dreams of a dual ghoul saw wielding Bone Widow, and while I realize that will never happen, it would still be a fun little addition to have one, since Bone Widow technically should have an arc blade.
Just to have the one.
Wait, what?
It would still be a fun little addition to have
the one.
Because the Matrix,
There can be only one.
There can be only one.
Yep, there you go.
Now I'm imagining Bone Widows dueling with ghoul saws until only one remains.
Yeah.
We will fight in our ancient traditional method. Ghoul saws!
And thus the Doomslayer was born. Actually, can you just imagine that? Sorry, random tangent. But, like, you know, you got the Highlander, and then, like, it turns out Doomslayer was actually a Highlander, and the only reason why he was the last remaining one is because he took a chainsaw to a saw fight.
I thought you were going to say that the last two Bone Widows are fighting, and they swing and both chop each other's heads off at once, meaning all the energy has nowhere to go, and thus...
Doomslayer was born. Right. Anyway, how do you feel about this?
Well, it really seems odd that arc melee is the most it's quite an abandoned feature in the game.
Yes.
Now arc wings are quite integrated into several other features of the game. They are used in open worlds. You can use them for combat, I guess, in open worlds, but mainly just for transportation. You can use them in Arcwing, again, bit of combat, bit of transportation. Does still need expanding, but those are the very integrated methods that they are. Arc guns are used for warframes, so you can just summon them, but they're also used for necromechs. The necromechs just have them. Arc melee...
Where that?
Where that? Yeah, and it seems really odd that the Bone Widow... Surely that's what the Bone Widow should have been. I forget the other one now. The Void Rig?
Yeah.
The Void Rig should have been the Arc Gun Necromech, and then the Bone Widow was the Arc Melee Necromech. Make sense to me.
Yep.
How it should have been, but instead, nope. So yeah, I do like the idea of Ghoulsaur is kind of cool. Giving it to Necromechs would be nice, but just all Arc Melee. Arc Melee is just the even when you did have the Arcwing missions, melee, that they didn't do enough with it. They were just like, okay, so we're making Warframe, but in this I swear, this is how they did the design thing for the original Arcwing. They were just like, okay, we're gonna have this cool space Warframe game mode, right? And we're just gonna apply all the concepts from regular Warframe into 3D space and just hope they work. And the melee system was just ridiculous because you just mashed buttons. There was no finesse because you had a. Because it's in 3D space and the camera's so close, you had to have an attract method. So when you swung, it would try and get to an enemy, basically teleport to a nearby enemy, and you could hit it until that enemy was dead, and then you swing and you go near another enemy. No finesse at all. No activated ability. No different attack buttons. No nothing. No throw melee weapon. Nothing. So it always that they started releasing new weapons, and I remember leveling them and thinking, I don't ever use the weapons differently. I don't try and use the weapons differently. There's nothing but to just run near enemies and then mash melee, and you just teleport around and just punch things or hit things or slash things. It made no difference whether the weapon was a cool pair of robo fists or a giant super scythe. You just ran near enemies and mashed melee. So giving the Necromech, the Bone Widow, or maybe even make a new Necromech at this point, that sole weapon is not arc guns but gives arc melee. So it would have a unique niche, it could do unique things with the weapons, maybe the weapons had charge bars, maybe it had several weapons, you had to alternate between them and they overheated or something, because just using these weapons is just so straining on the mech, or the weapon, it just overheats the weapon because of the way it burns energy, I don't know. But giving them a new lease on life, seeing as it is, some of the weapons are really cool, and they just sitting in the armory now doing nothing. Yeah, so I maybe not the Ghoul Saw, but definitely the Arc melee should be used more. Yeah? No?
I do agree with you. I'm just trying to think what's the best way of doing it. A part of me feels that it should be on the Warframes, not the Necromechs, because, I mean...
They are huge weapons.
Yeah, no, I don't get me wrong, I don't deny that. The problem I have is the fact that sometimes in the closed environments, like, right now you're in the open world and things,
yep.
You get in a Necromech, you got no problem, you can see perfectly fine. Maybe, dual wielding I can't remember any of the arc melee weapons, but, just dual wielding those, it would be easy. There's no problem there whatsoever.
I want to shoot down your giving it to the Warframe point of view, because then they're just directly competing with melee weapons. They need to be somewhere unique. Otherwise, what's the point of them? They're just big melee weapons at that point.
That is true.
And end of sentence. You've got no leg to stand on.
No, but the problem I have with them on the Necromechs is I feel that the environments are too claustrophobic as they stand now for Necromechs. Because, I go down, an Orphix... are they just the Orphix mission type in Railjack? And I get my Necromech. Oh, my head's scraping across the sea. I can't see anything. I'll change the camera. Oh no, I can't see nothing. I was like, okay, I'm in big open space again. I can see. Yep, still walking along. Yep, no problems. Oh no, I'm struggling. I can't see anything. Oh, what's going on? I don't know. It just feels like I can easily envision if I'm jumping around, well, not jumping around, but if I'm dashing around because of the gameplay of Arc Melee with the Necromechs, I'd just be blind to what the hell's going on.
See, I think that's a similar problem to Arcwing had at its core. Because you're trying to fit something which needs more space into something which is scaled to a Warframe size, and then you're given something with a bigger scale. So just because it doesn't work for those missions, I don't want to discount it. I can see what you mean, but I'd rather say, well, then we basically need more bigger map tiles that can just accommodate it so you don't feel like your camera's bashing into the wall every 5 seconds. The other thing I would say that I would like to see these weapons used for is, we've always said in the past, so in addition to maybe being they could be using an Necromech weapon as well for this same purpose, is I want to see capital ships, and I want to see us fight capital ships. I want them not to be static in Arcwing.
Yeah.
And a lot of their systems, or parts of it, you have to, because they're, fighting like a proper grenade galleon, just shooting it is like throwing pebbles at a wall. It's just, you need to be clever and chip away at certain points of the wall to weaken the wall structure first before your pebble is going to knock it over. So if you want to get close and smash turrets, smash engines, you need to use melee weapons, because you really get into the key elements of them. And also when you're inside the in Arcwing maps, and there might be objectives where it's like, right, you have to destroy this reactor core. It's not just a few canisters like our normal ones. It's like, no, this is a proper reactor core, or this is a structural support pillar of the ship.
Yeah.
You have to use an arc melee to do it, to tear it down, because they're anti-capital ship weaponry.
Yeah.
The only reason I can think of, and I'm actually going to do a Gundam reference because I haven't done Gundam ship sword. Yes. I was never. We know we're not a fan of the Gundam Seeds, but do you remember the anti-capital ship swords they had?
No.
Ah, right. Okay. I'll just quickly copy an image for you and pop it there.
Do we want to put it on the screen?
Oh, how can we do it? Should I pause? Should we do that?
Yeah, pause it.
Okay. Find a better image then. OBS controls. Pause. And we're back. Cool. Yes. So, in one thing they added for in the series, which is not mine, Xeno's favorite, but let's add some Gundam in here because I think that's what Arcwing was always meant to be. Is they added these giant energy weapons, which were literally they're too big and unwieldy to fight other mobile suits. They're literally just for cutting up battleships because it's just so big. You needed a tool to just cut through things. So that's what they added these in for. And I'd love to see that's what arc weapons are for. They're just for cutting up massive things. Because obviously, yeah, you could be like, oh, well, I've got my Gratler. It's a flat cannon. Yeah. Okay, we've got to chew through several meters of reinforced ferrite plating. Do you know how long this will take with a flat cannon? Probably about 10 years. Or we get a giant freaking sword to do it. Yeah!
Like, I very much like that idea. I like the idea that the arc melee weapons are that, I can just imagine a gargantuan behemoth.
Yeah.
Right? Where, this thing is bigger than a necromech. This thing is absolutely massive, and you have to take chunks of it off, similar to Jordis.
Yeah, or the All Brothers.
Yeah, exactly. So I think I'm actually 100% on board with that.
Well, this is the thing. I swear that they were originally trying to implement with the arc guns when Profit Taker came out. That the arc gun would be the anti-armor weaponry to take out big things, and then they just abandoned that for the next Orb Mother. It's like, consistency, please. So I would love to see that, maybe not for those fights retroactively, but just future fights. Just like come up with big fights and have those weapons serve a purpose. Really great for like ripping off armor plates. So you have to use that weapon to remove armor plates. Could you imagine that? Just like, jabbing a giant sword in and pulling it out, or using the giant fist to like deform it and then rip it off. It just would make sense. It'd just be cool.
Well, I think another cool thing should be that you can hack and slash, just certain limbs, right? There you go. You're hacking. You want to bring down this Orb Mother. The third Orb Mother has this special reflective shielding. You can't shoot it, right? Otherwise, it reflects the shots around the environment.
Yeah.
But its legs are susceptible to arc melee. So you start hacking and slashing to bring it down. When it hits the floor, it discharges its shield, and then you can shoot the fucker, or you can continue just to hack and slash the fucker.
I also like what you were saying. Yeah, I would like it to be a consistent thing, though, just not a one-off fight. They need to commit to this and make it a niche thing for X weapon to do, especially the arc melee. They just don't do anything anymore, and there's some really good designs there. But I also like how you were saying it's something bigger than a necromech, because you were saying about claustrophobic and small and tight spaces. So so it doesn't work well in that condition, because obviously it's very hard to see something smaller than your necromech, and you're like, you're gonna punch this? It's like, I can't even see it. my body's in the way. It's like trying to punch a mouse. So having things that are bigger than you and it be designed for that would make sense.
Yeah, and like, okay, fine. If you want to have it so that you swing your arc melee, it obliterates a Grenier, fine.
Yeah.
Have fun trying to hit the fucker.
Yeah.
Right?
Make it really slow and
Yeah. And like, make it so that it's like a horizontal swing, right? Or it's like got a very slow vertical swing. Like in oh god, I don't know how much Soul Calibur you ever played. Yeah, you know how you had like slow and quick attacks, horizontal and vertical attacks, right? So you could easily dodge out of the way of a vertical, and you could actually make it so that as you're doing a vertical swing, you turn slower, right? So it's harder to hit something that's sodding moving, right? Does it make it impossible? No. It makes it bloody hard, but you're using it for the wrong thing. That's like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Cool. So yeah, I think we agree.
I'm down for
Ghoulsaw
this,
would be
but there needs to
cool,
be a
but really
porpoise.
arc weapons. Hey, do you know it'd be nice if the Ghoulsaw also could be used as an arc weapon? That would also be fine. I think it's big enough. So yeah, that would be kind of cool. Making a necromech, or maybe even make, you know, like how they tried to make Focus be like a super. I think they called it like the Super Saiyan mode for operators. Is how it was supposed to be. Or no, it was supposed to be for Warframe originally, wasn't it? Years ago.
Yes.
So have it that the arc melee thing is a cooldown for necromechs.
Arc melee is a cooldown for necromechs?
Yeah, so all necromechs can use that.
So did you say cooldown or cooldown?
Cooldown.
Okay.
So they because they're so heavy to use these weapons,
Yeah.
and gravamags won't work because you're swinging them around too much.
Yeah.
Gravity works for a thing that you hold and just shoot things from, but not when the thing is
Grab a
moving on.
gyroscope.
Or maybe if you were to attach a gravamag to it and you tried to hit something with it, it's like you just hit me with a feather duster. Because you've anti-graved it. So it requires a lot of energy. So the necromech has to go. It has to charge a battery and then use it up, and you only get a limited window with it. You know, that way, something like that. Anyway, yep. Okay. Replies. Ghoulsaw should be a weapon. Period. Instead of the loud breadstick that it is.
You and I have a very different definition of breadstick. Because trust me, that thing doesn't last long enough for it to be a breadstick. I would have eaten that thing.
And I would have been ill from it. Anyway, I'm pretty sure one of Necromech skins has a saw that's just for show.
Does it?
Not sure on that one. Okay, maybe under one of the arms or something. Next one. That would classify it as an arc melee, and I'd rather they do it the other way around and turn arc melees into weapons using one atmospheric mode. Totally doable too, considering Tilrigor uses Nux himself. You think you're as strong as Tilrigor? I laugh at you and your puny science. This is mostly just an excuse to justify having the Kazaz, because actual Warframe scythes don't make my PP hard enough.
I think the Kazaz is that the scythe.
The scythe. I always thought it was a very puny scythe anyway, even the arc melee one. Last one. I suspect the Bruntspar Necromech skin was going to be a third Necromech with a chainsaw and grenade launcher or flamethrower. You can see them on its arms. There you go. Yeah.
Is that the really cool looking one that they decided to turn into a skin because no one liked the look of the Void Rig or the Bone Widow?
The aesthetic has grown on me, but I still don't.
No, you're lying.
The problem is, it would still work better in 40k, the whole skull thing. It's like, I see what you're trying to do. You were trying to add dreadnoughts to Warframe, and it just doesn't work. It would be brilliant, perfect in 40k, and whoever there wants to go work at Games Workshop probably should, or draw some amazing art, or come up with a new baby carrier for the Grey Knights. But it just didn't feel very Warframey. They were trying, at least. It was, they were trying. Feel the try. No.
Cool.
Anyway, that's it for that topic.
Let's move on to the graphs. So turn off the topics.
I have to go into topics, by the way, then out of topics, then into graphs. It's very.
You gotta hit the graphs button.
No, what?
I forgot to put a graphs button. So go out of graphs.
No, there's a graphs. I hit the graphs button.
Yeah, and now go into graphs.
Oh. Ah!
What?
I saw the fog.
So why are you screaming? Right, so the first graph of today is: do you ever experience low MR players burning through self? No, that's not the what? Why? What?
That's the first one you've given me in Discord.
How? So what's that one?
One.
Okay, I thought. Sodding. Okay, right, we're gonna have to work this one out. So the first one is the fifth one I gave you. So hit number 5. Hit number 5. Why? What the hell are you doing? Hit number 5!
You're beard stroking, so I felt I needed to join in, even though I don't have a beard.
Right. No, wait, that's still not the right one.
More beard stroking.
Number 4. Hit number 4. I don't know why it's got mixed up. Right. Do you ever experience low MR players burning through self-revives and then quitting the mission?
Oh.
1% said no, 59% said yes.
I swear for me it cut out and you said 1% said no, so 41% no said no. Okay.
41% said no.
Right.
Do you remember? Have you ever experienced this?
Yes.
There you go. So Loz is on a yes as well.
Okay. Which number do you want me to push then?
This is the one about Vor's prize.
2?
3. Why are these so mixed up? Right. Do you think it's enough to show new players that they can revive
and be revived
during Vor's prize? Can be revived during Vor's prize. Dude, I'm tired. It's freaking gone 1 a.m. Right? Yeah, we're both tired. It's a sleepy day.
I'm tired.
I've been having to set up servers. Right. So I'm having to deal with WordPress. Shut up. Right? We're missing some percentages, not sure why, but moving on from that.
Okay.
36% said no, 59% said yes.
Yes.
Why are we missing some percentages?
Don't know.
Frick knows. Right, okay, so going back to the graphs. Then it's number 2. Yep. So on average, do other players revive you, or are you left to self-revive? 23% said that they're left to self-revive, and 77% said that they they revive me.
Yeah, I often don't let people do it. I'm too trigger happy on it. Yeah.
Fair enough. Next we have number 1. Right. How invested are you in the Tenno's relationship with Pavos Granum? 36% said high, while 64% said low.
I'm kind of sad by that.
I think at this point in time, people are so tired of not having the Never War that they just want to have the Never War.
Yeah, it's hard to. It is really hard to do anything or even think about anything else. Like, oh, especially now we've had the teaser for it, and it's like, oh, so Alad V's going to be in it, and Alad V's going to be doing shenanigans, and it's like, okay, and then error shenanigans. It's like, yeah, can we just better blow my puny little mind?
Yeah. And then the last one, which is number 5, which was correct apparently. Right. Do you feel that there's a continuity issue with Pavos's motivation? Is he working against the Tenno or trying to work with them? 23% said, I think the motivation is crystal clear, and 77% said, I think the motivation is clear as mud. I forgot I put those as 2 options.
I would have preferred if you went with, I seem to be in the idyllic crystal clear seas of the seashells, and, oh no, I seem to have found myself in a swamp.
I can't remember what I did. I know I did this like relatively last minute, but yeah, so that is it for the... I do think it's clear as mud. Like, I thought we were supposed to be working together, but, you know, who knows?
Is mud clear to you?
No, it's not in the slightest. I thought we were supposed to be working together.
Right.
You know, but it just seems to be like... No, we're not.
Like, and I have my sisters in my fake secret boardroom desk meeting.
And they will fight with
And then the walls fell over because we made them out of cardboard in the corner.
And you should call me Oni-chan.
Please notice me, senpai.
Right, okay, so that's it for the graphs. We are now going to move on to the supporter questions. You had plenty of opportunity to swap that.
I must endure my failings.
Okay.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's wrong, Loz?
Nothing's wrong. Nothing's wrong at all. Here we go. Oh, right before we start the supporter questions, I'm going to ask everyone to make sure you're subscribed to the channel, like the video, and share it if you can. It really helps. Thank you, Zrugel. Thank you, Zrugel.
Okay. Sorry, because I just looked at what you went oh no to. Zrugel, please never, ever, ever do that to me.
Every time.
Because my brain will implode.
So cool this one is. At first I was like, oh wait, it's starting with a backwards C, and I'm like, oh, nice. So yeah, I love it. That's an awesome font.
Oh my god.
That's super cool.
Isn't that Cyrillic?
You're Cyrillic. Right, moving on. Do you notice if we ask you a question we already asked? No.
Yes.
No, we don't. We finish recording and then we lobotomize ourselves.
No, so Zrugel and Thalion try to do it so that when we record, we were supposed to record this last week. These are last week's questions, but we never got to record.
Yeah.
So Zrugel was asking, do you notice if we ever asked, so if we've already asked the same question, or and then Thalion asked the same thing, but for KanpaiCast, right? But we didn't record 10 o'clock last week, so it ruined it.
The hard drive has foiled you again. Right. Moving on to Thalion. It's been a hot minute since the topic of Pablo's comments on game improvements were discussed, but a recent topic to grace us on the forums was simply, Warframe needs Battle Royale. Are DE that desperate? Are Battle Royale modes completely done now? Does the topic poster have an obsession with Fortnite? And is this actually 4 questions rolled into one?
No, DE are not that desperate.
Mm-hmm.
I really hope that Battle Royale mode's done now, but apparently we have to have not only a Rainbow Six one, but a Ghost Recon one. You know, Tom Clancy is now the perpetual dynamo.
Does the topic poster have an obsession with Fortnite? Probably. Depends on their age. And this is actually 4 questions rolled into one. 1, 2, 3,
no, it's 3.
4. 1, 2,
3.
4. Yeah. Also, like at this point, so I really hope DE just ignore Battle Royales, because if they were to chase them or to think of anything at this point...
It needs to be a separate game.
No, even that would be too late at this point. Unless they completely think of a way of doing a unique, meta-shattering twist on a Battle Royale, they're just going to make another Rise of the Eternals.
Yeah.
Which was too late. It was just like, if that came out a year or 2 earlier, like Paladins. Paladins is still going, because it came out pretty much while Overwatch was still in beta.
That got redesigned so many times.
Yeah, so did Fortnite.
Well, I thought Fortnite got redesigned once.
Once, okay, yeah. Well, no, because they just keep adding... They've added Among Us into freaking Fortnite.
That's true. The amount of flack that Epic got for that. When
I'm sure there's other stuff. We don't play Fortnite, but I'm sure they've added loads of other stuff in there, in game modes, and there's like they did a Black Lives Matter memorial video thing in there at one point.
Oh god, do you know how bad that turned out?
Redacted. We won't discuss that, but I just mean that they did. Props them, they tried to do something different, but well. Sticking the tomato dispenser right next to one of the film screens wasn't a good idea for one of those sort of events. Anyway, but yeah, so DE chasing the Battle Royale scene at this point is just kind of late. It's like if they... it's like if they released a MOBA at this point. And though if they could make a MOBA thing in Warframe, that I don't know, they kind of tried, but they
no. The thing that I really want DE to learn from is Metroid Dread. Metroid Dread has had so much flack from the journos, right? I got that term from Loz. But...
Look, Samus just doesn't smile enough. In her armor.
Fuck off!
Look, this game is just too hard. It doesn't tell me to shoot this particular brick.
Fuck off!
Look, this game is just too hard. Give me an easy mode so I can just see all of the plot.
I don't know, maybe just fucking aim your goddamn gun. Anyway, the whole point is... journos have complained profusely that Metroid Dread is too hard, yet the mass majority of the gaming public fucking loved Metroid Dread. It's one of the few Metroid games I've actually finished and completed. Honestly, fucking amazing game. I really hope that they decide, hey, maybe we can do more difficult content.
Yeah, well, it's challenging, unique gameplay. They need to, but I think you're right about not trying to add a new game mode into Warframe at this point. Or well, we'll see what they do, because I do feel that they have limitations from the engine.
Yeah.
Or how it's set up fundamentally, or something. So yeah. Anyway. There you go, Thalian. Nice little discussion there. Thalian also says, do you notice if we ask you a quest? Ion, we are ready. Ask it.
Thalian, don't do that to me either.
Well, that's it for the supporter questions this week. What do you want next?
All right. We now have the community responses. Okay, community responses from 2 weeks ago.
Yes. Edward Paddock, New War, Christmas 2019. So Warframe is 8 years old, meaning over 25% of its life has been us waiting for this to come out, if you started at launch. For anyone who's been playing for only a few years, it is all they know.
Oh my god.
Edward Paddock, you make me sad.
Wait. How is this 25%?
Because 8 years. It's 2021, and it was supposed to come out.
Hold on. Warframe is only 8 years. Oh my god, it fucking is. Oh dear god.
Maths!
No, I don't want to listen to that anymore.
Technic Czar, first comment. Also, I think people burn self-revives because every second you are getting revived is a second wasted not playing and slowing down the mission.
Fair.
There's some fair point in that, but at least Warframe gives you actually quite a active down state.
Yeah.
You can shoot. In fact, you can build a better build for your down state.
Yeah, that's true.
If you wanted to. Just.
So you can be down for longer.
Yep, and do more damage. Peter Graver. I don't think the problem with people being revived is that they don't know they can be revived. As a modern gamer, encounters being down, down but out in nearly every. As a modern gamer encounters being down but out in nearly every game. Gears of War, Fortnite, COD, Apex, and Battlefield, just to name a few games that use this mechanic. I believe the problem is players are ill-informed about what quick revives do. I have on multiple occasions taught new players self-reviving is bad if you're leveling your gear, and that is better to wait for a revive. I have had multiple new players thank me for the information because they didn't understand why they kept losing levels on gear. Best solution, change the prompt to read sacrifice experience to quick revive, or wait for a revive to retain experience. That's a pretty good one from Peter Graver.
I think you shouldn't say sacrifice, you should say spend.
Maybe, okay.
It's a semantics thing, but the second you say sacrifice...
I think a definite UI thing to show, like, sacrifice, you will lose this, bad, and then, like, you could have, like, a Tenno standing on the Tenno glowing, like, good, wait, pick up, free, Edward Paddock, what about you can't instant self-revive until you hit Mastering Rank 5 or something? That could also work. I like it because it's unlocking something on Master Rank, which I always like doing.
Yeah, I think it might have to be a bit higher, but yeah.
Okay. Zrugel, I think Never War is too negative. I think calling it Schrodinger's War would be pretty funny. Actually, actually having an NPC revive the player is pretty plausible, but there already are NPCs that can revive. During the Emissary Nightwave, just have an event that knocks the player out, like the Ascaris Bolt, and disable the revive option. Of course, you'd want to make sure that reviving the NPC is around. Sorry, you should make sure the reviving NPC is around and enemies aren't. But yeah, that'd work.
Yeah, it should be called the postponed war.
The postponed. I suppose this won't make much sense to you, but because you were probably watching the footage. But JJ24 says, "I too shook the Nabras decoration like a Polaroid picture." if you in the footage, you'll see that you can look at the hand with the dangling thing.
Yeah,
You can spin it.
yeah.
It just shakes all the bits about, and I'm like, I've never seen this before. I'm like, oh look, I can just whee. It's like, yep, okay.
Yep. No,
So yep, JJ24, nice to see. Benjamin Smarridge, yes, Smash. Speaking of cereal, when we were younger, Loz, do you remember Golden Grahams? Another lovely cereal that I don't know how other people have, but for us is now paper.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, especially cinnamon. In fact, I remember at one point I found an American brand, and I'm going to try and find it again, that actually had super amounts of cinnamon, because I think that's what Golden Grahams were, and it's like, they were just tasty.
No, Cinnamon Grahams were.
Cinnamon Grahams. Ah, there you go. What Golden Grahams then? Was that just sugar?
I think it was. I had both. My preference was Cinnamon Grahams.
Right. Okay.
I much preferred Cinnamon Grahams.
Maybe I'm just I can't remember Golden Grahams then. I just remember Cinnamon Grahams. I like Cinnamon Grahams. It's like, and I want more. I want more cinnamon on my cereal. Actually, taste of something. I can taste that on my tongue rather than, oh, I'm eating paper.
Why can't we just have adult cereal?
Yeah, I don't get that either. Yeah. Well, hell, we've got our sugar tax, but you can pay to have the more sugary drinks. You just pay more. Why can't I pay for better cereal? Ridiculous. Yeah. Nick Evans says, short-beard Xeno is short-bearded.
That's true.
And finally,
I was actually surprised at how much.
Say that again?
I'm surprised at how much it's grown back.
Ah, yeah. And finally, Brandon Zapian says, feels so weird seeing Xeno without his grown beard. Lol. What was the reason for the shave?
Because I was going out for a work too. I didn't want to look like a hobo. What? Yeah. I went to have a haircut and everything.
Thank you, all my employees, for all the hard work that you're doing. We're even taking in this homeless person and providing them with a meal this evening. I just want to congratulate... Oh, wait, that's Drew.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep. Right, so that's it for the community sponsors. It is time to do the memes. Seriously, really nice font and everything.
Right. Meme number... I can't remember these memes, so I'm going to have to redo them as I go. Right. Meme number 1. Why are we still here? Just to suffer? Buying Valbrand Prime blueprints for someone for 15 platinum apiece. Seeing how much goddamn oxium the chassis needs.
Hold on. I'm just realising I hadn't actioned these. How much oxium? Oh, jeez!
14,000 oxium.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of oxium.
I think, like, one of the best ways to get it is, like, is it Sashura? No, I can't remember if it's, like, Sashura. Yeah, Pluto. Right. Like, you can get, like, resource drop one, and then there's oxium sprays for days! Right, number 2.
Meme number 2. DE, can Loki's decoy please absorb damage and turn into health like Saren's Malt? When the decoy dies 2 seconds after being spawned. You had one job!
I don't know, part of me says that it should be invincible and just doesn't do anything apart from distract.
Yeah, definitely an ability which needs something, doesn't it? Right, number 3. Nidus Gang. We have someone's sister on a bill. I'm back, and mad enough to smash right through every shield you have. Nidus has no shields. Nidus needs no shields.
What's that from?
Lord of the Rings. Gondor has no king. Gondor needs no king.
Right.
Meme number 4. Scorpion. Why is it a black screen?
I don't know. Pause.
Boop, 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 boop.
I can
pause.
There we go.
Yes, meme says meme number 4. Scorpion death noise. I fear no man, but that thing, it scares me. I'm sure-footed, 100% chance to resist knockdown. Yep. The bane of scorpions everywhere.
Yep.
Meme number 5. Add a title. Anairos. His passive is the same as mine. Sevagoth, but better.
so true.
Such a good film, by the way.
Yeah, really good film.
If anyone hasn't seen, is it The Suicide Squad?
Yeah. The one by James Gunn.
When it comes out, just give it a watch somehow because it is hilarious.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It is really good.
And finally, just for Xeno, I think it was Xeno? Yes, this one's for Xeno.
Okay.
This is a true story on Hydron until Gara nuking was reintroduced. Pain. When someone talks shit about your running Oberon, but you carry the team with 1,200 plus kills. I see no god up here other than me.
Yep.
There we go. Right. So if we go clear, then we go back, then we go community shoutouts. Oh god, the pain!
Having a seizure.
Okay,
the noise is painful. I can't remember these. Right. So the first community shout out. These were picked for last week. So day 15, community by Madlux.
Nice. Almost half time. Let's continue with day 15 community because we all fight together around the solar system. Lovely.
And weirdly enough, when this comes out, there'll only be 5 days left of the month. Right.
Lovely.
So the second community shout out is my boyfriend. My boyfriend is a prime by Floopsy.
That's nice art. Yep, love it.
Yeah, really like that one. The third community shout out is he won't stop until he hits his goal for sure by Ahai. I'm not entirely sure.
Ahi.
Or Ahi. I mean,
nice. Oh, that's watercolors, isn't it? Damn, I love watercolors. Doing them watercolors.
Yeah. The fourth community shout out is I appreciate being allowed to watch, however, by Marika Sardis.
Nice.
Yeah, lovely penmanship, I was going to say. Lovely pen drawing of daughter. Then we got number 5, Big Hungry Boy Grendel, Zamaru work in progress concept by LED 2012.
Wow.
So, this is Tenno Gen. Yep.
I don't like Grendel, but I'm liking this skin.
Yep. I mean, this is awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's been any more. Again, I picked this up like last week. So, and then the last one, number 6, is Oberon by Dull.
Zach.
Yeah, that thing. And again, watercolors. Really like this one.
Yeah, I'm just looking at those watercolors. I'm just like, it's just something beautiful about them watercolors. Lovely.
Yep. So that is it for the community shoutouts. So there we go. We're done for this episode. We got everything working. Nothing broke, which is a pleasant surprise to say the least.
Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute.
Ah!
Oh no! Wait, wrong one. Ah!
What are you doing?
Ah! Ah!
I don't know if you can hear yourself. I can't actually
myself.
hear No, I can hear you.
It's because I'm screaming so much. Ah! Look at that!
You're screaming so much that Discord is cutting it out.
Oh no, it's horrible. Oh no, it says babes. Horrible. Oh no.
I reiterate, he had multiple attempts during the episode. When we had to pause, he could have just swapped in the font.
That's a nice font.
Anyway.
Nice names.
Yep.
Yep.
Let us know what you think of the new changes to the layout. Very minor, but still.
New font next week. Also, when are we having guests back? Because we did say that, like, I think September was supposed to be your month of no guests.
Yeah, this month has been chaos. I'll get to it.
You can have a whole the never guests.
Oh God.
There we go. Well, on that note, goodbye everyone, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.